Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Scrolled Feather from Helen Williams. So this was the focus of my Tangle Time sessions today. If you are interested in doing some online sessions, would love to have you join us. Information is in the description box. Well, at least my website is in the description box, and then you can find classes from there. So we had a lot of fun with this. It's a little bit on the more challenging side. I do a session called Tough Tangle Tuesdays. This probably should have been on a Tough Tangle Tuesday, but it's like, well, I wanted to do it, and so we did. And it has its own little challenges in that I find I have to be looking at the step outs for it more often than normal. And sometimes it's just have to think about it a little bit. All right, so starts off with kind of an S shape that ends up into a spiral. So I'm going to start here at the tip sort of. And so I'm drawing my sort of S shape. And like I said, landing in a spiral. Then we're going to, and I call it teeing off of, so in making a T. I couldn't get the T-ing separate. It sounded funny. Anyway, so I'm going to start about right here, and it's the same shape. We're just alternating directions. But let me throw this in there first. We want, and I love, somebody will remind me in the comment section. Oh no, I think it was Demi who was on the session today that said we want them to be looking at each other, meaning these spirals. So I'm going to come off of here, same idea, but I'm mirroring it essentially. So as you can see, they are looking at each other. I love that. That's a great way to say it. I had been saying, if you had an imaginary line in the middle, then this is facing towards the line, this is facing towards the line, but looking at each other is perfect. All right, so again, it's just alternating, to the left, to the right. But after these first two, when we add the third one, we want to come up sort of in the middle. So I'm going to do that. I kind of add a little bit of a curve as I'm coming off of that, the line, like almost like it's branching off instead of just being a straight line. And then to, play with how far apart they are this way, how far apart they are this way. Now, one of the things, as so we're alternating, but as you're getting towards what you want to call the end of this, one thing that Helen mentions in her, she has a little video, and I'll make sure that there's links to both her step out, and she had an additional page on her blog that that has this little video. Or I need to check. I noticed that before I finish this, I noticed that there was I get some weird issues when I'm linking directly to some blogs. It seems like it's Blogspot that sends off some kind of a trigger warning. So on some of them, I'll put a note in the description section if it's one of those. And then Tangle Patterns is where I found it. So she has the links on there, to go directly. But, I was getting, I forget what they called them, warnings and stuff. And I'm like, this is just going to like an art site. So, okay. Anyway. All right. So again, we're going to fit this line through these two. And then as maybe this next one, I will call that the end, and we'll try to make them a little bit closer together as I go through. And this one, I'll just kind of have this one sort of butt up against the other, like so. All right. Then what we're going to do is I'm going to skip these two. We're going to draw a line connecting this spiral to, into this little corner right here. And what was interesting in our calls is that some people did it a little bit different way, and it still turned out really amazing. So if you just watch, so I'm going to come off of the edge of this spiral, and I sometimes I have to kind of air draw it, and I'm aiming to have it go underneath. So we're going to use the hollow bow technique because we're not going to cross over the spiral. We're going to go underneath it, but I want it to kind of go through and get to this point. So, and then the hollow bow, as you see, I'm picking up my pen, traveling it over. I put it down on the other side to continue. It's nice to have it in the one continuous line. And then I'm going to do the same idea on this side. So, and like I said, I sometimes like to just air draw, plan out, like mapping out the path a little bit, just because I find that it helps. Because sometimes, the spirals are maybe a little too way out or something, and I just want to not be kind of figuring out as I'm drawing it. And then too, like this one is in a little bit, and so if I was doing about the same, it would end up about here, and that might be okay. Let's just do that. But you can, bend it and curve it however you want. This is one that you just kind of have to play with a bit. All right, and then on these bottom spaces, actually, for whatever reason, I like to turn my tile when I do this one, and we're just going to add kind of an aura'd curve line here. Oh, that should mesh in a little bit better, but okay. And then I'll do one here. Now, if you want to, also, you can add a little, actually, I'm going to add it all at the same time. So I've kind of aura'd that curve and then come down straight, and then you can, just kind of cap it off there so it looks like kind of like a stem. All right. Then we're going to do some aura-ing. And if you don't know what aura-ing is, it's essentially outlining. So I'm going to take this line right here. So this curved, so if I follow the spiral along, it's this line. Let me just draw one aura. And kind of matching the contour a bit. And I'm kind of curving it in as I come to the end. And this is one, work slow. Try to. Sometimes when I'm aura-ing, I don't. And then usually then it's sometimes sloppy. Okay? So just aura-ing, and then we're not, same idea with the hollow bow. We're not going over the spiral. We're just going to, go underneath it. So same idea as we did with these lines. The first line that we just did. And then continuing up to the next one. And what I'm doing is I'm working my way down this side. It seems like, and I can't remember, I have to go back and look on Helen's blog. For some reason, I'm going to get that right on the edge. For some reason, sometimes I would like aura that whole thing. Maybe that's why when I had tried this before, it was like, oh, okay, this is on my nemesis list. And that might have been why. This is a lot more comfortable to do. Although, oh no, because this one I was just going down to the, okay. This one is more of a like aura-ing the whole thing, but no, I'm ending right here, and that's basically what I was just saying. Versus like I'm gonna stop here. So like what I'm saying is like I would go and continue to aura down here. And granted, that could look just fine. However you end up doing it, it's all good. Like I said, turn your tile so that way it's comfortable for your hand. Like I said, here I'm doing the hollow bow. As far as I'll go, well, I don't really have any more room, so then it's just going to be like this. And then I kind of do this where I twist them a little bit. Just gives it some motion. All right, then down here, merge that a little bit. We'll add a little bit of weight in there. And it looks like I'm just going to get one aura. Yeah, and there we go. Last step before we might throw in some shading is to do what I'm calling, we, Mom and I came up with this term for these. These are, oh, I've lost it. It'll come back. Fancy fescue. That's what we're calling it. All right, so that is, so I'm going to come out of this. It's kind of like a takeoff and land idea. So I'm merging out of here, just drawing a curve line, and then coming back on itself. However it ends up, it's fine. These are just really, really fun. Wherever you want to draw them, however far, however crazy, it helps to fill the space. And they don't have to all go in. They could, like this one, I like to have some that go the other way. Just because. And then, that end can be however you want it also. Sometimes, as I notice, it's like, wow, that one, okay, that's interesting. But look at how much character that has. Like I said, add as many as you want. It is nice to kind of fill in that space. And it just, I don't know, it makes it look so neat. All right, now if you want to do some shading, the best way is, actually, you could do both tips. So when they're coming out of here, and then especially where it's meeting here, and let me flip this so that way it's better, because I want to put the graphite on this side of the line. So where the lines are coming in, I want it to go across there, not in here. And what that does is, I'm just going to put a little bit up here at these tips. Oh, and then of course down here too, just a little bit. Okay, tortillon. Oh, let's use you. So then I'm just going to spread it out a little bit. Come out both sides here. And it is good to have the tip of the tortillon like on the graphite, so that way you move it, to where you want it, versus like I wouldn't do it this, well, sometimes I do because I'm when I'm not really thinking, but it's a lot better to not be reaching over where you don't want the graphite to be. Just let's get you right here. See, and this helps with making it. Oh gosh, look at that. Especially here, on these sides, just a little bit, and especially if you kind of add that bit of a curve in, because it really helps to make it look extra curvy. Now, if you have a white, where is it? Here it is. Let's just see. If you wanted to add some white, because white on the white tile isn't necessarily going to show up, but if you put it over the lines, like so, I mean, you could add what we call like the sparkle, where you leave a gap. You can do that with the pen, but if you want to add a little brightness, in these middle sections, a little bit of shine, if you will, and going over your black lines, then you could do that with the white. Well, you can't see on here because this is very well loved, but the General's white charcoal pencil. Just putting it right over the lines like that, you can see how that all of a sudden made it look a little bit more 3D. And then you could use your tortillon to blend it a little bit. Although this, because it's on the white, you don't necessarily need to do that. I'm going to use. Has more graphite still on it, because it's also kind of fun to add some graphite. Yeah, to like I said, I'm using what's left on here. Just a little bit of graphite in that spiral if you want. Probably needs a little bit more. All right, so let's do. We'll just kind of do a little bit. I don't want it to get too dark. I should use it by, oh well. I have a woodless graphite pencil from Zentangle, and it's a little bit lighter, and I was just thinking, oh, I should have really used that. I want to leave a little bit of gap of white in there, so I was trying to be careful, but you can see it just adds a little something if you want to. And then, of course, if you end up doing that, you can always come with the white jelly roll pen. This is the number 10. It's a little juicier, so it works nicely over the graphite. We'll put little dots. It's just neat. Just neat. So, that is the scrolled feather. Oh, one thing to point out is, I like to draw it going down, but they can go either direction, whichever way you want. Let me share with you some of the stuff from today's Tangle Time session, so that way then you can see kind of what we end up doing. The objective of those is to just have fun and explore the tangle, and and learn it. And this one I added some of the therefore. That's what the little 3 dots. It's an interesting tangle. I do have a video on it, believe it or not. It's interesting. And then this one I added some. I don't think you can. Yeah, you still can't really see it. I had some shinies on here too. Some pan pastel pearlescent, so it has a little glittery look to it. But like I said, we had a lot of fun with these, and just a really, really neat tangle. It's, like I said, if you find it frustrating, you are not alone. When I get the replays posted, you will see, and you can share. And if you find it, just a little bit more of a challenge. But once you get it, it's it is, like I said, it's a neat tangle, and very impressive too. And it's just fun to do tangles that are like that have a really, really neat look. Just so much fun. So with that, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, we'd love to have the thumbs up or the like. Feel free to share it. Would love to have you as a subscriber to the channel. And also do check the description section for more information, step outs, ways to connect with me, and all that. So thank you so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.